Rida?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay. So in the previous class, we had discussed about the different kinds of basis of classification, amongst which one was the body symmetry, right? So
Yes.
today I'm going to show you how and what I mean by body symmetry. Okay, can you see this screen?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, now look at this. Oh, oh, where did that go? Okay, this one. See, the first picture is the picture of a sponge. Okay, the sponges, they usually look like this. Now, you actually cannot divide it into any parts, isn't it? If you cut it from this side, you'll have one unequal part, isn't it? If you cut it from the middle, then you'll have several unequal parts. So, this is asymmetrical. You can't divide it into any plane. You can't divide it into identical halves. Now, when we talk about the radial symmetry, so it says that any plane passing through the central axis, whether you want to divide it from here, 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 or here, it can be divided. But the only thing is that the radial symmetry does not confers left and right identical halves. Now, if we talk about the man, so we divided right from the middle, you'll get that. Now, same goes for insects also. They are bilaterally symmetrical. Okay. Now, as I told you, these, do you know which organism this is?
Starfish.
Starfish. Starfish comes in Echinodermata. Okay, the phylum Echinodermata. But there is like a very unique property wherein the adult starfish has radial symmetry, and the younger or the baby starfish has bilateral symmetry, meaning its larva has bilateral symmetry and the adult has radial symmetry. Now tell me one thing, amongst bilateral and radial symmetry, which one do you think is more advanced?
Radial symmetry. Because you can
How?
divide it into more parts.
No. See, I'll tell you one thing, no matter what happens, all the characters that are present in mammals, they are the most advanced. You close your eyes and you say that. Okay, so obviously, since we are the higher most organisms, right? And
Yeah.
uh, in addition to that, we have intellect also. So all of our characteristics would be much better than the other organisms. So I told you about Echinodermata, right? So Echinodermata is like almost nearing the last phylums, isn't it? So if I say now, let's just talk about a younger one and an adult. So the adult must have the better characters if you compare between the adult and the younger one. But it's just opposite in the case of the starfishes, meaning the echinoderms. What happens is that their adults, they are radially symmetrical, but their larva or the younger ones are bilateral symmetrical. So this is um, a retrogressive phenomena. We'll see it when we come to that phylum. So body symmetry is clear.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, types of animals on the basis of development of embryonic layer or germ layer. Now see one thing. What happens is that when the zygote is inside the female's body, okay, mostly in the higher organism, obviously, wherein the fertilization is internal. So whenever the zygote develops, so the zygote develops into an embryo. Right now, I'm talking about animals. Okay, don't associate plant. Now see what happens slowly, slowly in terms of humans. Let's just say, okay, or like lower than humans and higher than the lower organism, like in the middle part. Okay, so what happens if, for example, if this is an embryo, so after further development starts to happen, this embryo starts to develop layers around it. Okay, certain layers, three layers actually, three layers for the you can say higher organism and two for the lower one. So these layers that I'm talking about, these are embryonic layer. The layer which comes surrounding the embryo or comes from the embryo or in the embryo is the embryonic layer. You can also call it as the germ layer. Okay, now the function of these embryonic layers is like these layers are responsible for the formation of organs. Okay, so if I say that these layers are important for the formation of organs, that means that this particular basis or this particular characteristic would start coming from when the organism started to have organ system level of organization, right?
Yeah.
Which, do you remember which phylum has organ system level?
Um, Chordata.
Chordata is very high. And
Um,
organ level.
it starts with E or
No, it
E.
starts with P, platyhelminthes, the flatworms. So right from the flatworms up until the chordates, this type of this will be the basis. Below the platyhelminthes, this will not be the basis of classification. So now all those organisms that just have two layers, outer layer, like the embryonic layer has been divided in such a way that there is an outer layer, there is a middle layer, and then there is an inner layer. Okay.
Mom,
So
for
the
three, right? For
yeah, there
three,
are three.
three layers.
Yeah.
Okay.
In general, there are three. There are like in general, what are the total number of embryonic layers? So three. Okay. Outer is the ectoderm because the word ecto means outside. Then the innermost is the endoderm, and in the middle there is mesoderm. Okay. Now, depending upon that, the organism, they can be of two types: diploblastic, triploblastic. Diploblastic, they have two
Two.
embryonic layers. They have ectoderm and endoderm, and mesoderm is not present. The middle layer is not there. Then triploblastic organisms are those that have all three layers present: outer ectoderm, middle mesoderm, and inner endoderm. Now, in the case of diploblastic organisms, an undifferentiated layer is present, and this layer is known as the mesoglia. Not true mesoderm is present, rather undifferentiated layer is present. The example for diploblastic organism is coelentrates and ctenophores. They have it for whatever you can say structures they would have in their body, not necessarily organs, but the structures that they would have. And then talking about the triploblastic organisms, so they are like starting from platyhelminthes up until cortex. So this embryonic layer thing is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Like I'll tell you how. Like see, for example, mesoderm is there for human development. So this mesoderm, when it will be present in the embryo, this mesoderm will be responsible for the formation of heart or the
Okay.
muscles. Okay. Then ectoderm will form the skin. So different layers will form different organs of the body. Clear? Now, types of animals on the basis of body cavity. See, body cavity is the, you can say, the internal structure of an organism wherein we talk about mesoderm and its association. For example, like if we are talking about body cavity like this, if you turn it like this, you'll see a circle. Now we're going to talk about this circle and whether it is lined by mesoderm or not lined and everything of that sort. You understand the difference between lining and covering?
Ma'am,
Like, is
like
there a difference?
lining is just you put it on like on top, but covering is like entirely it is covered
No,
completely.
no. See, covering, if this is any structure, okay, this is the structures, okay. If I take something and put it on it, this is a covering,
Yeah,
okay. And
you
if
completely
something is
cover it up.
present from inside, this is a lining. Like for
Oh,
example, if you put like that food wrapping paper in your tiffin box, you're lining your tiffin box.
but you're not putting that inside, right? You're putting it outside the tiffin box.
No. The food wrapping paper, like you put stuff so that it won't get here and there. Like the oil will not splatter and
Inside
everything.
the tiffin box, right? Like
Hmm.
inside. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Meaning anything, for example, if this is a structure, this is the inner side. So if any layer is present towards the inner side, that is the lining. And if anything is on the outer side, then that is the covering. For example, skin is the covering of our body. Then inside our body, we have linings. Clear? So this is the difference. Now, if I say that the body cavity is lined by, so if this is the body cavity, so not outside, rather inside. So whenever the body cavity has mesoderm surrounding it, the middle layer, we call that as coelom. Body cavity with mesoderm, we call it coelom. And all those animals that have the coelom present in them, we call them as coelomate organisms. Coelom containing organisms. Clear? So right from annelids up until chordates, you have coelomate organisms. Now, the second case is when the body cavity is not lined by mesoderm, but the mesoderm is present in scattered pouches. For example, this is the body cavity and this is the full whole entire mesoderm. So this is the case of like the coelomate. Now, this mesoderm is not entire, rather it is present like this in pouches.
Oh, okay.
This is pseudocoelomate, false coelomate. It like a layer is there, but it is not lining it because this is not a whole layer. So we call it as pseudocoelomate. Ascalmenthes, they are pseudocoelomate organisms. Now talking about the last one, whenever the body cavity is absent, the whole entire body cavity is only absent. So we call it as acoelomate. Coelom is not present. Clear? So that is what happens in the case of platyhelminthes.
The body cavity is not there.
Not there at all because they are lower organisms. Clear?
Okay. Ma'am,
Any
what
doubts?
exactly is body cavity? Like,
Body cavity is like the internal hollow structures that are there in the body right
mm,
before the formation of organs. Not right now, right before the organs are formed. Then in that case, okay. Then we come on to segmentation. See, segmentation happens in the case of all animals. For example, if you draw butterfly, do you draw it like this? Or you used to draw it like this?
yeah.
Right? Most of us do like that. So these structures that you used to draw, so you think of it as the body, right? We think it is the body. This is segmentation. Actually, the butterfly has that. This is segmentation in the body. Okay. Have you seen earthworm
Yeah.
in reality?
Just before yesterday, I think.
Yeah. So the whole entire body, if this is, it is like this, right?
It was a very small one, but I didn't see the dots. It was like just
Okay.
one
Next
line.
time, try to see one. Wait, let me show you. Let us see some organisms that have segmentation in their body.
Ma'am,
For
except
example,
earthworms.
except, hmm?
Earthworms.
See this thing. Okay, very gross, but for the sake of study, we're going to see so that we can understand. Do you see the linings,
Oh, yeah, I've seen this. I've
right?
seen this. Yeah.
All of these are segments. Do you see how proper
Ma'am, they
visible
have that because they have to move, right? Like this. That's
Yeah,
why
but
they.
it is there in the case of butterflies also.
Okay.
It is there in the case of caterpillars also. So segmentation is a different thing. Their body structure is in a such a way that they can creep and crawl. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is one. And have you seen that those worm-like structures that have thousands and thousands of legs? Have you seen them? Centipede or millipede?
Um, I've heard
These
about it.
ones.
Oh,
They're
okay.
mostly like found like wherever like the places that would have a lot of water falling through or in the moist spaces, you'll find them there mostly. See how visibly the segmentation is present on their bodies. Do you see how visible it is? You can count the segments. right? So this is what is meant by segmentation. Okay, we can see segmentation in the case of butterfly also. Segmentation in butterfly. They're showing the petals, not the body. Oh yeah, here. See, do you see the segments?
Yeah.
Right, this is not a butterfly, but butterfly belongs to the same phylum as this particular insect. Okay, whether it is a mosquito, whether it is a house fly, or any kind of flies of that sort. So do you see these segments on the body, right? So this is what I mean by segmentation. Okay, so there are some organisms that have segments present in their body. Now there is this unique case that is present in earthworm. You know, the weirdest thing is that the kind of segments that you see from the outer side, the same segmentation is present on the inner side also. It's not just like, for example, like how we draw like this and we think that inside it won't be there. But this segmentation is present towards the inner side of the body also.
So each part has a different uh,
Segment.
segment
So like,
inside.
yeah. So one segment will have the reproductive structures, one segment will have the glands, just like that. The body has been divided into segments. So this case wherein the body has been divided into segments externally also and internally too. So we call this as metameric segmentation or metamerism. Okay, and each of the rings, they are known as, or each of the segments are known as metamer. This is found in earthworms. Okay. The very fancy scientific name of earthworm is Ferritima. And do you know what is the most common name of earthworm? Like it is famously known as farmer's friend.
I thought ladybug was farmer's friend.
No, earthworms are. Why? Because they usually live in the soil and they do nutrient replenishment. They do decomposition and they make nutrients available for the plants. So the farmers don't have to do it. So that is why they are farmers' friend. Any doubts up until now?
Ma'am, what is the name again? Ferritima.
Ferritima.
Okay.
Pheretima. Ferritima.
Okay.
Now, talking about the notochord. I think that is it. Yeah. Okay, talking about the notochord. See, in the embryonic development of animals, they go through several stages in life. Like in the, like while the development of the embryonic stage has been going on, they go through several stages. Okay, and during that stage, there is a particular rod-like structure that is present on the dorsal side. Do you know what position is dorsal?
The behind is what?
Yes, the backside. Exactly. So in the backside, there is a rod-like structure formed, and that is known as notochord. And this has been formed from mesoderm. So it is mesodermally derived. Okay. This is found in all the animals that have had this particular rod-like structure once during their embryonic development. We call them as chordates. All meaning every single organism that comes
Ma'am,
under chordates. Yes,
what is notochord then?
this is what
Mm,
I'm telling you.
It
Notochord
is.
is a rod-like structure.
So
Okay,
what is the
while
difference between notochord and chordate?
the animals with notochord are chordates. Chordates is the name of the like group, name of the phylum.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the name of the phylum has been kept. Why? Because all of the organisms that are there in that particular phylum, they all have had notochord during their embryonic development. Okay, so those organisms are notochord, like chordates. And those organisms that do not have the notochord present in their embryonic development, we call them as non-chordates. They do not have the notochord. Okay. So right from Porifera up until Echinodermata, all of them are non-chordates. So if we want to divide the whole entire animal kingdom on a very large division, so we'll say chordates and non-chordates. Hmm? So yeah, and Under chordates, do you know where we come under chordates?
Mm.
What is our group? Under chordates, like our phylum is chordata.
Yeah.
What is our class?
Primata. Mm.
Before that, there is something. We are primates. We are primates. But
Primates.
before that, we are vertebrata.
Vertebrate.
Vertebrata. Why? Because in us, meaning
We
in
have
mammals,
vertebrae.
the notochord gets replaced by vertebral column. So we have vertebral column. That is why we are vertebrates. Clear? There are many organisms
We
under
have
chordata.
cord. We have notochord also, but we have.
We have had notochord in the embryonic development, but that
Yeah.
notochord
And
stage came, but it changed and it got replaced by vertebral column.
okay.
So there are many organisms that did not get the vertebral column.
Mm.
Okay, the earlier
But we
fishes,
come
they
under
come up.
chordates.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Because first we'll talk about
We went to
embryonic
chordates.
development. So with on the basis of that, we are chordates. Okay. Now, reaching up till chordate is a really long pathway. First, we have to study about every single non-chordate in depth. Okay. So, any doubts up until now?
No, no.
These are the various bases of classification. Now, there are I think, two more types of like bases. We'll study it when we come to the phylum. Okay. Any doubts up until now? Sure.
Mm. Yeah.
Okay. What is the last thing that you've written in your notebook?
Angiosperms.
Okay. So, you have to write from the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can start writing.
That's not.
Also remember this sequence always. Okay, you know the
Yeah.
mnemonic for it, right?
Keep plants clean or family gets sick.
Sick. Yeah, you can switch off your video, write down comfortably.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, can you scroll down? Ma'am, can you scroll down? Can you scroll down? Can you scroll down? Ma'am, 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 can you scroll down?
Done with that?
Yes, ma'am. 1 minute. Yes, ma'am. Done.
Okay. All right. Now, this is all there is to know in terms of your basis of classification. Now, see, you might see this particular flow chart in your NCRT book also. If you memorize this particular thing, then further on, like, see, whenever we talk about any kind of phylum from animal kingdom, okay, we use the basis of classification only to describe them. For example, if we are talking about porifera, so we'd say they have cellular level of organization, right? The one thing, they are asymmetrical, right? So whatever basis of classification you have studied, they come under non-chordates. So you will use that to explain them. That is why I have taught the basis of classification in depth. So now, furthermore, you'll not have any problem anywhere. You'll understand, okay, this is the basis of classification and this is why we are using it. Clear? Yeah. So same goes for all of, for example, if you're talking about platyhelminthes. So first you'd say that it comes under Animalia. Then you'd say that it has organ level of organization. Then you'd say it is bilaterally symmetrical and it is acoelomate. And what kind of digestive system does it have? Do you remember? Complete or incomplete digestive system?
Incomplete digestive.
Incomplete digestive system. Only one opening would serve as the mouth and the anus. So with the help of all those bases of classifications, you can talk about each one of them. So the first one we're going to see, and see, this is the division of chordata. The chordates have been divided into two types: vertebrates, those that have notochords replaced by vertebral column, and then there are invertebrates or non-chordates. Clear? There is this very famous saying that all vertebrates are chordates, but all chordates are not vertebrates. You understand this? All vertebrates are chordates, but not all chordates are vertebrates,
Yeah.
right? Because not all of them have got the backbone.
Yeah.
You'll see. Okay. Now, we are going to start with the first phylum, that is phylum Porifera. Now, you know that the members of this particular phylum, they are known as sponges. Okay.
Symmetric. Okay.
Yeah, they are asymmetrical, talking about their habitat. So they are generally marine and some of them are freshwater. Marine means they live in the sea or the salt containing water bodies. They have cellular level of organization. One very unique system that they possess is the water transport system. Even though they live in the water, but still they have the water transport system, or you can say the water canal system, and it has three things. It has ostia, which is a bigger opening. Then this opening leads into a cavity called as spongiocele, and then there is the end structures known as osculum. So these are the structures that you can find in water transport system. See, ostia, they are minute pores and water enters through this ostia. It goes into the spongiocele, which is the central cavity, and this central cavity is lined with choanocytes. Choanocytes are collar cells. See, these are weird shaped cells that are present towards the inner side of the spongiocele as the inner lining of the spongiocele. Okay. Now, then there is osculum. So finally, when the water and its needs are done, then the water goes out through the osculum. Clear? So this is the water canal system. Now, why is it there? The water canal system is present so that they can gather food with the help of it, because they can't move, they can't go anywhere to get their food. They don't even have mouth so that they can get the food. So they use water, like whatever is flowing along with the water, any microscopic structure, phytoplanktons and everything. So they take it as a food.
Won't
Okay?
they die if they take anything like, which is
Bigger
something?
and sharp.
Yeah.
That doesn't even go inside. They are so tiny.
Okay.
It won't go inside. Only the tiny particles would go. So it is used for food gathering. It is also used for respiratory exchange and for removal of waste. So there is a water canal system present. Now, digestion in the case of poriferans is intracellular. Intra means within, inter means between. Always remember, intra-school competition, inter-school competition. Inter-school means many other schools also come to your school for the competition, and intra is when it is happening in your school level, different grades. So, their digestion is intracellular. Intracellular meaning whenever the food is taken in, cells, they are digested inside the cell because they don't have organs, right? So they don't have structures to digest the food or whatever it is, their substance in the body. So instead of that, they use the cell. So whatever digestion activity happens, it happens within the cell. Clear? Okay. After that, the body is supported by a skeleton. Now they have a skeleton present, but it is not made up of bone. It is not made up of cartilage. It is made up of spicules. Okay, spicules. Spicules are tiny, you can say spiky things that are present in their body, and these spicules are made up of spongin fibers. There are certain fibers that make up these spicules in their body. Now, sexes are not separate in them, meaning the male part and the female part are present in one individual. There is no different male, no different female. Okay, so they are hermaphrodites. Hermaphrodite means bisexual. So the egg and the sperm, meaning the gametes, the male gamete, the female gamete, both will be produced by the same individual because they are hermaphrodites. Now, talking about reproduction. So when we are talking about asexual reproduction, so it happens by the means of fragmentation. Their body would break into fragments, and each fragments will develop into new individuals. Then sexual reproduction happens with the help of gametes. Gametes, they fuse inside that one body only. The fertilization is internal, happening inside the body. Many a times in different kinds of organisms, the fertilization can also take place outside. Like, do you know any example?
Gametophyte. I mean, there's a plants, but
Animal.
mm, fertilization takes place outside.
Meaning the
Frogs.
gang. Huh?
Frogs.
Yes, exactly. You see their eggs are present usually in the water bodies, right outside. It looks
Yeah.
like eyes. Very good. This is what I was wanting to hear. Okay, now talking about development. See, now this is that one basis of classification that I did not put in the list. This is one more type. The development can be of two types, direct and indirect. For example, if you talk about a frog only, okay, there is an adult frog that lays the egg. Now, there comes a middle stage in its life cycle wherein it does not resemble the parent,
Yeah. Yeah.
the tadpole stage,
Yeah.
right? It looks like a fish, small fish. But then that tadpole develops into the adult frog. So this kind of development wherein there is a particular stage between the egg and the adult. There's like a middle stage. So we call that kind of development as indirect development. It's not directly developing into the adult. Rather, there is a third stage present.
We don't have
So,
an indirect thing, right?
no, we
We
don't.
have direct
Imagine
only.
us being born as a baby because we are born, no? We don't
Yeah.
come from eggs, that is why. But
Yeah.
imagine us being born as a baby, then for a while we look like a gorilla or a giraffe, and then we again bring back to the adult state. So our development is direct. Okay, most of the chordates have direct development. Yeah.
Yes.
So in this case, mean in the lower organism case, the larval stage is there. The larval stage is there in between the egg and the adult stage. Now the larva of the poriferans, it is known as cydipid larva. It is a little extra information. If you want to remember, you can remember. If you don't, no harm. Cydipid larva is the larva of poriferans. Now the larva will 100% be different from the adult poriferan. It would not look the same. Okay. Coming on to the examples of porifera. So we have Sycon, that is also known as Scypha. Then there is Spongilla, the only freshwater sponge, Spongilla. And then there is Euspongia, that is bath sponge. So these are the three examples of porifera. So with this, we have actually completed the first phylum. Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Wasn't it easy since you know all the bases, the terms of you already know, right? And
Yeah.
now this is the lower organism, so there's not a lot interesting about them, but as slowly you will move towards the higher, you'll see how easy it will get. Just try to like before coming for the next class, just try to read all the bases of classification and try to remember this will help you till need. This one,
Can I just take a picture of this? No, it's there
it's
in the
there in the
textbook,
book.
right?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
there in the book.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll keep it till here only. Any doubts in porifera?
No, ma'am.
All right, okay, so in the